Hi everyone, so I am going to update you guys with sort of like my everyday makeup routine, and when I say everyday makeup routine, I change up my makeup like pretty much on a daily basis. This is just the look that I go to if I'm in a rush or if I just don't know what to do and need something quick. It basically goes with anything that I'm wearing or, you know, whatever mood I'm in that day. The main focus of the tutorial is this new Maybelline color tattoo, and it's the shade Matte Brown, and this is just gorgeous. I bought this one and then the nude pink one, both from the whole color tattoo matte line, and I thought that I was actually going to like the nude pink one a lot more because it's that sort of like dusty rosy color, and I really like that, but I actually have been enjoying this color a lot more, and it's super basic, but I find that when I apply this on the lid and sort of blend it and give it a little bit of like a smokiness, it just is so easy to put together, such a beautiful look that, like I said, goes with everything. So I'm going to call this my updated everyday makeup routine, but just so you guys know, it's more of like a in the rush, don't know what to do type of routine. So the first thing I usually do is just apply a little bit of a primer. I know with the Maybelline color tattoos, some people like to use those as primers themselves, but I find that I need just a little bit of something to help control more of the oil, because I find that if I just wear the color tattoos, sometimes they'll crease on me, sometimes they won't, but you know, it just depends on how oily my eyelids are going to be. I'm just not going to take the chance today, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of primer. Plus I like dragging a little bit through my eyebrows because it helps when I go to do my eyebrows for the powders to be more pigmented. So now moving on to the color tattoo, like I said, this is in the shade Matte Brown. I don't know if this is limited edition or not. I really hope it isn't, because I think that these matte shades were a really good idea for Maybelline to come out with. But you know, I've seen this hit a lot of drugstores, especially if it's in my area. Probably means it's everywhere. And I'm going to take this on this Coastal Scents brush. It's sort of like a big concealer slash synthetic eyeshadow brush. I really like this for applying cream shadows, especially these color tattoos, because it has just the right amount of density to pick up a good amount of color, but also the right amount of fluffiness where I can sort of blend it as I'm applying it. But really, any sort of a synthetic eyeshadow brush would work. You can also use something like this, one of like the MAC 217s or Sigma versions. That's the Sephora one, whatever you like. Just going to start by picking up a little bit of the color on this brush, and then I'm going to use this mirror from this little Lancome palette so I don't mess up. And with this, I like to start just sort of in the middle of my eyelid and work my way out, and then go back in towards the inner corner. And then as we sort of start to get into that crease region with this brush, I find that it's really easy just to sort of pull the color up. Can sort of like wedge it into my crease a little bit, just with back and forth motions, kind of try to blend the color without, you know, hurting my eyes too much. And then sometimes with the edge of my finger, I just kind of like to go right alongside the very outer part of the color tattoo and just use my finger to start to blend it a little bit. Now I'm just moving on to the other side and doing the exact same thing. And then sometimes if like the lid color isn't as vibrant or as dark as I want it to be, I'll just go back in with a little bit more onto the brush and then just apply some to my lid. So then after I have the initial color sort of on, I want to go in and sort of, you know, further blend it a little bit more so it's not so harsh. I usually take some type of like a mid-tone blending shade. I'm going to go into this Maybelline little palette here. This is Sunbaked Neutrals, and I'm going to take that light matte brown there. You can use any sort of a color for this. Max Wedge, Naked from their Urban Decay Naked palette. Really, whatever you want. I just noticed I had this in my collection and decided I want to use it. So I'm just going to take this kind of just through my crease there. And then blend it up towards my brow bone. And then once we've done that, I'm just going to go in and highlight my brow bone. I'm going to use this Physicians Formula Matte Collection Quad here. This is the Canyon Classics. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this. I just recently picked it up because it was on sale at Ulta. And I'm just going to take that matte creamy shade because I've been really, really liking the shade to highlight recently. It's just kind of like an off-white, so it really does a good job and it actually shows up as a highlight on my skin tone, which is why I really like it. So Just going to pop a little bit of this on underneath my brow bone. Alright, so now it's time to move on to some eyeliner. I've been using this Jane water-resistant eyeliner recently, and I really like it. It works amazingly on the upper lash line. It's nice and smudgeable, but it really stays on the waterline. It's just like an incredible eyeliner. And this is just in a black shade. I'm just going to start to draw like a thin line on my upper lash line, and we'll sort of smudge it out here in a sec. So then what I like to do is just take my Push Liner brush and then black out from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. Just the matte black right there, any sort of a matte black shade will work. And I just press the shadow right into my lash line. And while I'm doing this, I wiggle the brush that way I can sort of smudge that liner at the same time. So at this point, I usually do the rest of my face makeup, foundation, concealer, powder, and then I'll finish up on the eyes and do blush, bronzer, and eyebrows last. So I'm just going to do my typical foundation routine real quick just to save time, and I'll be back here in just a minute. Alright, so we are back in action here. I just did my foundation and my powder and my concealer. I used my Sephora 10 Hour Wear Perfection Foundation, Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer, and then my MAC MSF, kind of what I've been doing recently. Not much has changed. Now I'm going to go back to that Jane liner, and I'm going to apply it on my waterline and my tight line. And then usually I like to run a little bit of a brown on my lower lash line, so I'm just going to go back to that blending shade that we used from Maybelline. You can also use the color Tattoo if you'd like. I'm just going to apply this right underneath my lower lash line. Alright, so after we have that done, I'm just going to move on to mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Full Definition Voluminous Mascara today. Next, I'm taking my Tarte Slice Caramel Lashes, and I'm going to apply a little bit of this to my lower lash line. Alrighty, so then once we are done with the eyes, I'm just going to go in and bronze up my face using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. This one is in the Sweet Dreams palette. I'm really wanting to pick up the new Too Faced palette. I think that tomorrow I might go get it. Alright, now for blush, I'm just going to go into that same Too Faced palette and use the, right there it is, Cocoa Rose shade, just sort of like a plummy, rosy pink shade. I did just kind of dye my hair like a reddish color, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to go get like an auburn colored brow product because I don't know if like my taupey browns are going to work with this anymore. I think that for today, while I'm still, you know, kind of trying to find a new brow product, I'm going to take the shade, let's see here, Sable from the Lorac Pro palette and mix it in with the darkest color in my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Brunette and see if this works, since Sable has a bit more of like an orangey undertone to it. Might not be quite red enough, but it's going to work for today. Alright, so I quickly just put on the scarf that I'm going to be wearing today. I have no idea where it's from, so if you guys are wondering, I'm so sorry. And I think I'm going to do just sort of like a corally, orangey type of a lip. I'm not going to do anything too insane because I'm going out to eat and I don't want to get stuff all over my teeth, so I'm just going to take this CoverGirl Wet Slicks Amazement Gloss, and unfortunately I have no idea what the shade is, but it's just sort of like a really nice peach. I think that the name has something to do with peach. If I can find it, I'll leave it down in the description if you guys are interested. Not even too sure if CoverGirl still makes these glosses or not, but I know that I really like them because they're super minty. I think they have like crest or something in them. I don't know, but I like them. Alrighty, so that is it. That is the end of this everyday makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I try to use a good amount of drugstore high-end products. This is, I think, just a super pretty look. I think it'd look really good on a multitude of skin tones and eye colors. Let me know if you guys like this and if you're going to try something out that's sort of similar. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.